Hi, I'm Wanhee, and this is me at 24% body fat. You can see I have chest fat, belly fat, face fat with little to no definition. You might be surprised to know that I was actually going to the gym at this time, and I even had a bit of muscle underneath. But if your body fat is that high, it's almost like shooting yourself in the foot. All that work and nothing to show for it. So in this video, we'll go into some secrets to losing body fat to go from this to this. Let's get into it. If you've been watching enough of my videos, you know that in order to lose fat, you need to stay in a caloric deficit. And that the smartest thing to do with a calorie deficit is some form of weight training, whether it's in the gym or with your body weight. Now that the basics out of the way, I'm going to go into the secrets, the tactics that are going to help you basically achieve this. First thing is, most people, when they wake up, you're not actually that hungry. Some of you that are used to having breakfast all the time, you're going to feel like I should probably eat. You're going to get that feeling of like wanting breakfast, but it's not usually a needing breakfast because you're just coming out of that sleepy slumber and you're not really ravenous. Your body hasn't even activated yet. Have some coffee, do some work, and just don't have breakfast. I've been doing intense jiu-jitsu, intense weight training with nothing in my belly, and it's been fine. In fact, I've been getting stronger with this setup for years. And the reason it's possible is, think about it, your body is sophisticated. It evolved to function well without breakfast. It's literally why we store fat. You can access energy from the reserves in your body, and once you make that mental shift, it's gonna help you stay in a caloric deficit throughout the day. For instance, I'll wake up at 8 a.m. and I won't eat till like 1 p.m, sometimes 2 p.m, sometimes 3 p.m. So apply this idea of pushing your first meal as far back as possible. Let's get on to the next point. White chocolate mocha. I used to love this drink because it was kind of like chocolate milk, but it had coffee, but it also had whipped cream, and it was just so delicious. It was like having a cake but in liquid form. Now, you know where I'm going with this. Liquid calories is the devil when it comes to fat loss. It's really bad because it doesn't even give you anything. Imagine if you had fried food or even like a burger or something that was too fatty. It's gonna give you still some protein, some good fat, some good carbs, but with liquid calories, usually you're dealing with just pure sugar, whipped cream. It's not giving you anything except just all these calories that are gonna make you fat. And I've seen so many people, I see what they eat and I don't understand why they're fat, but then I see what they drink and I'm like, oh, okay, this is what's up. All those Coca-Colas, all those Fantas, all those lattes and mochas, this is where it's all adding up. And especially if you're a girl watching this, you have like a latte where you don't even know how much milk they put in, right? But if you have like chocolate mocha or whatever, that could be 350, 380 calories, which if you want to stay in a caloric deficit and have, you know, all the other foods like rice, like meat, like lentils, whatever, it's all going to add up. And it literally could be that one drink that is ruining your weight loss journey. So for all of you watching this, make liquid calories as low as possible. If you have to, go for those Coke Zeros, go for those 0-calorie drinks, even though I think they actually trigger you to eat more in other ways. But I have used 0-calorie drinks to my advantage, so can't say don't do that. Next, so the other day I was working really hard on a project. And it was this project that I was making for the community that I'm building. And I was just working at it, like making the routine and making sure all the dots lined up. You know, when you're just like locked in on a document and just working. And then I just lost track of time. And it was like 6 p.m, 7 p.m, 8 p.m. And my mother at the time, she knew I was working hard at something. She didn't like call me over for dinner. And then she had to come because it got too late. And she was like, are you gonna eat? So what happens is that when you get busy and locked in and focused, you're usually going to forget your hunger, and you can use this to your advantage, especially in the earlier part of your day. Instead of being idle, try to keep yourself busy with activities, even physical activities. If you're locked in playing sports or playing chess or doing whatever it is, it's likely that you're going to forget about food. It's usually when you're being idle, like chilling, just thinking, you're like, it'd be nice to have some popcorn in my mouth. And that's when all hell breaks loose. You identify with this, right? So stay busy rather than being idle. Next, so back in the day when I was in the Korean military, there was a time around 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. just before dinner. Like, our workday was finished and the dinner time hadn't started. You know, usually people would just lounge around, sit on their bunk bed, chat rubbish about whatever and just listen to K-pop music. But I got so bored one of these months that I just decided, you know what, I'm just gonna walk circles around this like football field, like gravel field that we had. So that's what I did. I would just have one of these like mambogies, you call it. It's like this little Tamagotchi looking things that show you how many steps you took in a day. And I'd wear that on my waist. People would make fun of it, like, you grandpa, blah, blah, blah. And I would just walk in circles, literally. Walk in circles with like listening to some podcast or something, and I would get like consistently 8k to 11k steps a day. The guys there would ask me like, what are you doing, why are you doing it? But eventually they were all like, how the hell did you lose weight, you're so lean? And I kept telling them, stop training so hard and walk 10k steps every day. This is one of those things that you guys just need to understand. Walking is an overpowered way of losing fat. And if you put a gun to my head and said, get lean by this summer, I would in fact stop a lot of the cardio that I do that makes my heart rate go up and just do walking. Next. So another thing that is really key is embracing hunger when it comes rather than thinking of it as a problem. We have this phrase like getting hangry, and people start to think like hunger means, oh, I need food or else, or I'm gonna die, or I'm gonna shrink, or what? Nothing's gonna happen. You got all that fat to supply you. It's literally why you hold fat. Hunger ain't gonna kill you. You just get hangry because it's a withdrawal symptom from the sugar and the cadence of dopamine spikes that you're used to, and you're like, I need my sugar spike. Instead, what you want to do is like, when you feel hungry, just embrace it and be like, I'm losing fat, I'm burning fat, this feels good, look, my abs are showing. So I did this once when I was walking. I was getting hungry and I was kind of rubbing my belly, and as I was rubbing it, I felt the abs. And then I started to feel like, oh, the fat burning is working. My abs are coming out. My abs are being more defined. I can even see it. Oh, wow, there's 4, there's 6 right there. What am I doing is mentally reframing hunger as fat loss and something to be embraced rather than something to be problematized and resolved right away with whatever food I can find. And these mindset shifts are really what's going to help you go over those daily hurdles so that you can lose fat over the long run. Next, a client came to me, this one-on-one client. When we first started, I asked him, why do you want to work with me and what are your goals? And he said, I want to look like this. And it was basically a lean and aesthetic body, but it was a picture of himself. And I was like, whoa, so you did it, what happened? And he said, this happened for 1 week when I had booked this body profile photo shoot, which is what Korean people like to do. Like, they like to get ripped and then take one photo. So he had lost fat so extremely, going on these massive calorie deficits, training, running every day, just really just extreme stuff on every end, exercise, diet, to get to that one moment where he could take that one photo. And he said after that week, he started eating, and in 1 month, he was back to himself at over 100 kilograms. And the photo was like 70 kilograms. So he gained 30 kilograms right back over a month and a half. Does that sound healthy to you? Even though you might be thinking, okay, that's extreme, I don't do this. Most people that want to lose fat, that watch this, you trade speed for longevity. You want to get there fast. You want to get there this summer. So you go hard. You go too fast. It's now or never. And what happens at summer, after summer, before summer, you bounce right back because the stress builds and you can never sustain it for the long run. So if you're someone that's actually like carrying a lot of fat right now, I wouldn't even aim for this summer, because by the time you're watching this video, it's probably only like 3 months left. And 3 months, you can achieve something great. It can be the start of something great. But if you're thinking to yourself, I'm gonna get absolutely ripped by this summer, it's just gonna make it that much more likely that you're gonna bounce back. So there's this trade-off between speed and longevity. And when it comes to fat loss, listen to this, when it comes to fat loss, the slower you go, the better. I'm gonna say that again, the slower you lose fat, the better. And this is something that I think nobody says. Like, everyone in the fitness industry, how to lose fat fast, how to like melt fat away in 30 days. It's not good to do this. Melting fat in 360 days is better than melting fat in 30 days. The longer it goes, the more you can sustain it, and the more your body, your mind, your lifestyle can get used to a new way of eating, which is what's going to sustain that new weight for you. This is the most important lesson that you should take from this video. I hope these tips helped you to lose fat, or will help you to lose fat, and I'll see you in the next one.